Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Businesses are taking a stand against plans for a popular Rockford event. The reason dozens of owners want the footprint for the city market to change. Keeping a busy road safe is the mission of one state line neighborhood. State funds could go toward a safer walk on your shopping trip. And a bipartisan bill inspired by the embattled Winnebago County coroner is stopped in its tracks. Local governments may have to wait another year for an extra oversight power. Good evening, I'm Marissa Lessner. Thanks for joining us tonight. Every year, tens of thousands of people come to Rockford for City Market, but some stores in the heart of the city aren't happy about the planned weekly street closures. And Amory Wilder spoke to business owners about their concerns. And Amory, what are they saying?
Marissa, both businesses tell me it's not the actual event that is causing them problems. It's just the setup.
This isn't an anger move. This is just, we're fighting for our businesses, and we're fighting, for what we do every day.
Businesses in downtown Rockford are asking the city to reconsider the footprint for this year's city market. 64 of them to be exact. A petition was signed asking the aldermen to change things back to how they were pre-pandemic. Paul Sledden is the owner of a restaurant on East State Street. He says they survived the COVID pandemic just to have another roadblock.
It was harder to do our jobs last year, not because of the pandemic, but because of the footprint of the city market.
For 20 consecutive Fridays, State, Madison, and Market Streets will be closed during the city market. That, according to business owners, is hurting their pockets.
To close us out for so long, that means for some businesses, I know it's cut 50 to 75% of the business. It's crazy. So you want us to promote and be part of the downtown and be a destination. And on the other hand, you said, no, you're not in. Only this part is going to be in. The rest, you're out.
Roni Galan owns an art gallery just down the street from Sletton's. Both can agree they love what the market stands for.
We love the relationship that we've had with the market, and we just want to kind of go back to that warm, fuzzy 2019 life that we had.
I did reach out to event organizers. I have not yet heard back. There will be a vote on the matter during a meeting with the city tomorrow night. Marissa?
All right, thanks, Amory. Rockford City officials need help from residents to improve traffic safety. The Rolling Green Neighborhood Association is holding a meeting about traffic signals on Alpine Road. 2 people died there last year trying to walk to the shopping center. It's a state road, so it requires state funds. State Senator Steve Stottleman and Representative Dave Vella will hear concerns at the meeting. 8th Ward Alderwoman Karen Hoffman says it's important to make this change.
When we were first thought of back in 1928, they didn't want us to be walkable. And now times have changed, and we need to make it so that people can walk to different parts very safely. And one of the things they want to do is get over to the shopping center.
And if you'd like to voice your concerns, that meeting is on Tuesday at Rockford's Broadway Covenant Church, starting at 6:30 p.m. A bipartisan state bill inspired by legal issues surrounding Winnebago County Coroner Bill Hintz will not become a law. Senate Bill 3460 would have allowed local governments to remove elected officials from office if they've been charged with a crime. Hintz is accused of misusing a county credit card and stealing from the deceased and their families. That bill unanimously passed through the Senate in February, but was just defeated in the House. The legislation can be reintroduced again next year. The man accused of killing someone outside Beloit Memorial High School is back in the state and makes his first court appearance tomorrow. 19-year-old Amari Goodall was arrested in Michigan a week and a half ago. Police say he shot Jion Broomfield in the school's parking lot in January. Goodall is charged with first-degree reckless homicide. He'll be arraigned at 3 o'clock tomorrow. The Biden administration could announce a rule on ghost guns as soon as tomorrow. It comes as groups are putting pressure on the White House to do something about gun violence. The privately made firearms don't have serial numbers, making them hard to trace. Gun rights groups are expected to reject the rule and file lawsuits. Meanwhile, lawmakers here in Illinois passed a bill banning the sale or possession of guns without serial numbers. Today, Ukraine's prosecutor general announced her team has 5,600 documented cases of Russian war crimes. According to Prosecutor General Irina Venediktoya, at least 500 of the suspects are top military agents. She says others are, quote, top politicians and propaganda agents in Russia. She went on to call Russian President Vladimir Putin the war criminal of the 21st century. However, she says he might not be prosecuted until he's out of power.
Actually, we understand when they will not be on the oppositions, or if prosecutor of International Criminal Court decided to prosecute them, they will be responsible for all their crimes.
According to the UN Refugee Agency, more than 4.3 million Ukrainians have fled since Russia invaded the country more than a month ago. There's still time for business hopefuls to get free advice on using their ideas to improve the state line. Get Connected 815, along with the city of Rockford, held another nonprofit education session today. These focus on all areas of starting a nonprofit, from compliance, organization, strategy, and more. The rest will take place on the 3 Sundays after Easter. While any kind of nonprofit can take part, officials say this will give a big boost to anti-violence efforts. State Line Landscapers hold an event to help residents bring their own outdoor remodeling projects to life. The Home and Garden Showcase in Loves Park featured gardening experts. They helped with a free gardening clinic and low-priced plants to take home as the gardening season approaches. Whether your project is big or small, experts warn to be patient and plan your project in phases. If not, you can damage your water mains, your soil, or even your wallet.
That are often overlooked. Sometimes we come into projects and it's just built wrong. It's like, wow, we wish that would have been done correctly.
Both James and Fiden say it's good practice to get advice from more than one person and make sure that they're a reputable contractor with skilled crews. Welcome back. The Biden administration is facing growing concerns from economists who fear rising inflation could spark a recession. This comes as Americans continue to face rising prices from the grocery store to the gas pump. Raquel Martin is keeping you connected to the nation's capital.
Former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers says Americans may need to brace for a recession as early as next year.
Painful fact is that historically, when we've had inflation above 4 and we've had unemployment below 4 since World War II, that's been followed by a recession.
Summers worked for Democrat Bill Clinton, but told NBC's Meet the Press he agrees with Republicans who blame Democrats' multi-billion-dollar spending bills for skyrocketing prices.
We were injecting too much demand into the economy.
Summers says the only hope is the Federal Reserve, if it can find a way to raise interest rates and gently slow down business investment and consumer spending.
It's not going to be easy.
On CBS's Face the Nation, Loretta Mester, president of Cleveland's Federal Reserve, says she's confident consumers will get a break next year.
I think inflation will remain above 2% this year and even next year, but the trajectory will be that it will be moving down.
On Fox News Sunday, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said the Biden administration is working to combat historic inflation.
Going to constantly monitor our economic data.
She says many Americans still need help recovering from the pandemic. This week, the administration extended the federal pause on student loans through August.
Exactly the wrong thing to do.
Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell says delaying payments only adds more fuel to the fire.
This administration just can't seem to get their act together on the economy.
In Washington, Raquel Martin.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, the wind really has whipped up over the last couple of hours, coming in from the southeast, sustained now anywhere from 20 to 30 miles per hour. But those gusts over the last couple of hours have been approaching 40 to even 45 miles per hour. So it has been a very windy afternoon, and those winds are something that'll continue as we go through these next several hours. There is a wind advisory for Joe Davies and Carroll County, and that will go until 6 o'clock here this evening. Even though the advisory goes away, our wind speeds are still going to stay rather strong, gusting to about 30 to 35 miles per hour into the early night. 63 though, our temperature in Rockford, 62 in Freeport, 59 in Monroe. We're at 61. Our weather watcher Jim checking in here on the southwest end of Rockford, and Ben up in South Beloit, our weather watcher checking in also at 61 degrees. We've been in and out of the cloud cover throughout much of this afternoon. We've got some breaks here where we'll see some sunshine as the sun does set, but our cloud cover increases tonight, and that's as a warm front lifts closer to us. So these mild temperatures, something that'll continue at least through about midnight. After that, there's a cold front that comes through, but this will likely keep our temperatures in the 60s here this evening and still in the 50s once we get to about midnight. Now, with that cold front coming in, we are going to see an increase in not only the cloud cover, but also a chance for an isolated shower thunderstorm, and this would be after about 9-10 o'clock here this evening. Strengthening low pressure over northwest Iowa, the reason why our wind speeds have really picked up. So here we go with Futurecast. Notice Futurecast brings in an isolated shower, maybe a rumble of thunder or two as we get closer to about 9 o'clock this evening, so we'll keep that chance going. But once that cold front passes, things will start to quiet down. Still notice temperatures, though, fairly mild in the 50s. We will see little cooler air wrap in by tomorrow, but we'll start our Monday off with temperatures in the 40s. We'll be in and out of the cloud cover for most of the day. We'll call it a partly sunny day, and I think most of our Monday is going to stay dry. Any chance for shower thunderstorm activity staying off to our southeast. Temperatures on Monday should still be able to get back into the low 60s. We do cool off a little bit Monday night. Another warm front to the south tries to lift north during the day on Tuesday. Tuesday, I think our temperatures during the afternoon are going to stop short of that 70-degree mark, low to mid-60s for our Tuesday. Chance for thunderstorms, though, increasing Tuesday evening, Tuesday night with the arrival of that second warm front. In fact, we get into a little bit more of an active weather pattern that'll take us through midweek. Thunderstorms late Tuesday. Our biggest threat, if we were to see any of that, would be hail for Tuesday late evening overnight. Then there is a severe risk on Wednesday, but that risk on Wednesday depends on the timing of a cold front. So here's our greatest risk on Tuesday, where we'll likely see strong, severe thunderstorms. That does come up to the Mississippi River, so something we'll have to watch, especially later in the day on Tuesday. Wednesday, that threat will shift further to the east. But remember, I said it depends on the timing of that cold front. Earlier cold front on Wednesday, less instability, less energy available in the atmosphere for us to work with, so it'll bring down that severe risk. However, that cold front doesn't come through until late afternoon or even into the evening. That would increase our risk for strong, severe thunderstorms during that time, and kind of all modes of severe weather would be possible. So Wednesday, really a time frame that we're watching. Same thing for Tuesday night, too. Notice temperatures will go up, but we bring those numbers down by the end of the week. Thursday is going to be a very windy day, so I want you to keep that in mind. Easter could look a little on the cooler side.
The White Sox are off to a good start in their quest back to the playoffs. They took care of business on opening day weekend against Detroit. Third inning, White Sox up 2-1. Jose Abreu launches one into the gap in right center field over a leaping Robbie Grossman. Luis Roberts trying to score all the way from first. The Tigers do have a play at the plate, but catcher Tucker Barnhart couldn't handle the throw. It's an RBI double for Abreu. Sox up 3-1. Fast forward to the seventh inning. Andrew Vaughn crushes one to left. There was a chance it could stay in play, but it just kept carrying and carrying. That's a 3-run homer. The offense kept pouring it on. White Sox win 10-1. They take 2 of 3 against the Tigers. The Cubs tried going for the sweep this afternoon in Chicago. Free agent acquisition Marcus Stroman had a solid pitching debut. He gave up 2 hits, 1 earned run, and had 3 strikeouts in 5 innings, but the bullpen failed him. Brewers win 5-4. Outfielder Ian Happ did not play today, this after taking a slider to his left knee yesterday. But we learned he won't be placed on the injured list. His x-rays came back negative. Manager David Ross held him out as a precaution. Happ is listed day-to-day. The Cubs are off tomorrow. He is expected to play Tuesday in Pittsburgh. It's the final day of the NBA regular season. The Bulls haven't played their best ball recently, dropping their last 4 games. They're not likely to get back on track tonight in Minneapolis against the Timberwolves. Head coach Billy Donovan will rest 4 of his starters. The Bulls are locked into the number 6 seed, so tonight's outcome really doesn't matter. but it is one less opportunities for his players to break out of the funk they're in. Still, Donovan's decision makes sense. It's been a long season, and the players could use a break, especially Zach LaVine and Alex Caruso. Caruso is fighting through back spasms. LaVine is dealing with lingering knee problems. Tip-off is tonight at 7:30. Some bad news today for the Rockford Ice Hogs. The team tweeted that defenseman Ian Mitchell will miss 1 to 2 weeks with a left knee injury. Mitchell last played against the Tucson Roadrunners on April 1st. He's missed 4 games since. And the Hogs are playing the Roadrunners right now at the BMO. The good guys are up 3-0 in the second period. Tiger Woods may not have won the Masters, but playing in his first official tournament about a year after a serious car accident, it's fair to say he still came out a winner. The crowd went wild as Tiger made his way to the green on the 18th and final hole. They cheered again after he sank the putt. But the tournament didn't go the way he hoped. Tiger had 3 consecutive bogeys in holes 4, 5, and 6. That's the first time he's ever done that at Augusta National. He finished the day 6 over par, giving him an overall score of 13 over. So what does the future hold for Tiger? We'll hear from him tonight at 9 on Fox 39. That's sports. We'll be right back.
Well, the wind will be kind of our greatest hurdle to get through here these next couple of hours. Dry skies for us, at least for now. The first warn interactive radar on mystateline.com. We do have a couple of showers that'll work in later this evening after about 8, 9 o'clock tonight. Could hear a rumble of thunder with that. That'll last through about midnight. Cold front comes through and brings our temperatures into the mid 40s. Up to 61. We'll kind of be in and out of the cloud cover for much of the day on Monday. Isolated shower possible mostly to our southeast. Chance for some thunderstorms late Tuesday. Watching that storm risk on Wednesday, cooling off, and those cooler temperatures take us right through Easter.
All right, thanks, Candace, and that's going to do it for us. Have a great night.